Hi everyone, it's Claire here today with a new process video. Today I'm guest designing for Cut2U and I'm working with one of their gorgeous cut files. This is the Spring Garden title cut file and I'll tell you a little bit more about how to find that later on in the video. I'm also working with what I have left of the beautiful Bloom Street collection by Paige Evans. I think I had the 6x8 pack of patterned papers plus a few of the embellishment packs, but I don't really have an awful lot of the florals and things like that left over, and I've got no large pieces. So what you can see me doing here in the video is cutting down a few strips to about 1 inch in thickness, all different varying lengths, and I'm going to use those in a kind of mosaic way to create a background edge for my layout. Once I have them all cut, I'm going to just kind of get them onto the paper, move them around a little bit so that I can find a good balance, and you can see me doing that here. I know obviously that I want to kind of almost ground my layout a little bit, so I'm using the bolder darker blue colour at the base, and also I'm going to end up with a little pop of that in the upper right hand corner just to kind of create some balance as well. And once I've got everything in a place that I kind of like it, there you can see me just checking that my elements will work well. I've stuck it all down, and you can see here that I've stitched around that with my sewing machine. I've gone ahead and lifted the cut file with the use of some of these pop dots that I get from Craftelier. I'll link to those down below. It's a really handy pack full of 3 depths, and I find them really useful for creating lots of different lifts on my layouts. One of the things that I do like to do with the pop dots is add a little bit of wet glue behind them. Not because I don't feel that they're very secure, but because having a little bit of wet glue when I place the cut file enables me to be able to move it slightly on the page if I get it in the wrong place. And I have done that before, and I've ended up as a little bit of a hot mess, having done it, popped it down in the wrong place and then found it really difficult to lift. So that's my top tip for you today. Use a little bit of wet glue to place your cut file, and then you'll always be able to get it into the right position. Okay, so everything is nice and securely stuck down now, and I'm into the embellishing portion of the layout. So what I'm doing here is basically adding a lot of extra little elements that I've kind of either found in the embellishment packs or I've fussy cut from some of the papers. As I mentioned earlier, I've not got an awful lot of this collection left over in terms of the embellishment packs, and I didn't have any of the florals to begin with, so I've had to kind of go the homemade route and do a lot of fussy cutting. Fussy cutting really is not something that I used to enjoy a lot. I thought I didn't have the patience for it and that I wasn't very good at it, but actually, having spent a lot of time now cutting the elements to back my cut files, I've found that my fussy cutting has become a lot better, and I definitely have more patience for it. So if you've ever found that it's not for you, maybe give it another go. So while I'm busy here sticking everything down into its final position, I just want to talk to you a little bit about how I approached this cut file when I backed it. I knew that I wanted the base of the cut file to be quite a strong colour, so that again I talk about grounding my layouts so that obviously you start from the bottom upwards, and I used that strong blue colour to back the actual title. And then in each of the flowers I used one central colour just to link them all together, before I used lots of little scrappy bits of the Bloom Street collection to back each of the flower elements. I then used one of the really pretty watercolour papers, which was a mix of greens and blues, to back all of the leaves. It's kind of come up with a really nice effect, I think, because they look very similar but they don't completely match, and the sort of change in textural tones makes it look a little bit less flat than if I'd just used one colour of green. Finally, I'm adding a sticker here from the Bloom Street collection, just so that my title now reads Hello Spring, and that's it for this particular layout. If you've enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a like or a subscribe so that you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll be back in a few days with another process video for Cut to You. That's it for now. Bye guys!